Hello, welcome back. We'll start with a short joke from Madhavan.
अभी अभ्यास करो। एक सेकंड में निर्विकल्प निर्व्यर्थ संकल्प एकाग्र एक पाप दूसरा न कोई। एक ही संकल्प की एकाग्रता शक्ति के अनुभव में बैठ जाओ। टाइम नहीं लगाना, एक सेकंड में। अच्छा,
Welcome back. So, feeling of closeness in that concentration exercise, and that the friend of the soul, who is also the parent, who is seeing you can do it 1 second, and that love which comes from understanding who you really are, and the connection which is not at all based on the story. And I think when we find that shift of consciousness, and in that company, we understand the enemy very distinctly. So it's concentration is all part of it, but very easy when you know who and what you are and who and what you're concentrating on. And yesterday, some points that I made, that we need to take benefit from the friend and know what the enemy is up to. In that, in the context, the enemy is also tireless. So this today in the reading about waste thoughts, even would include ordinary thoughts. The enemy wants to use the mind for anything. So this chance to be together to share and raise awareness has been very precious. And so welcome back, and handing over to Prashant. Thank you.
Hello, and thank you. It was nice to see the emphasis Baba places 1 second. The big shift happens in 1 second. Yesterday, we had an orientation about the friend and enemy. In a world outside, if there is an enemy, they are not careless about the enemy. They will be sometimes obsessed, what is happening, what the enemy is doing. If a country is having an enemy, they're full, there is a constant attention. There will be guard on the border. We saw that our enemy is far worse than any other enemy. It is a demonic. And this enemy has made the invisible prince unconscious and keeps him unconscious, but deprives him of the whole prize, and is determined to get him into degradation and sorrow. If there is any kind of misery in the world, if you see the lives of different people and the degradation, misery, sorrow, pain, it is because of Ravan. Nothing else. Ravan is the one factor that brought everyone to that lowest level, lowest condition of the soul. So here is such an enemy, and the friend, we can understand the friend in the context of the enemy. In the world outside, people, they can't really know God because they don't know the enemy. Superficially, most of the God that people talk about, Ram, Ram, that they are chanting, it's the Ram of Ravan. They want some gains for different heads of Ravan. And give me more gold. Sometimes these are overt prayers. Kill my enemy and give me wealth. And so these are prayers from Ravan. And it is the Ram of Ravan. We are not talking about a friend there, true friend. To recognize the true friend, we first need to understand the enemy. And all that the friend has to do is stop the enemy. Any sustenance that happens, friend and parents, they give sustenance. Sustenance includes education, nourishment, food. But the important part of sustenance is protect you from the predators, protect you from the enemy. If there are tigers, lions in the area, then if someone protects you from these predators, he is your good friend. Here the real predator is Ravan, 10-headed monster. In the world outside, their attention is not there. They don't even know that there is a enemy. How many people speak about this? So no one else can be remotely close to this. As was said, even Ram they are talking about is Ram of Ravan. It is a different Ram. It is not the Ram we are talking about. So the true friend, he knows the enemy. That's what makes him the closest friend, the one who is in a position to do something. He is the wisest. And this wisdom, it helps him to clearly see everything that the enemy is able to do. He's confident to stop the enemy because he knows every game that the enemy can play. The word Ravan, that word exists in the world, and even there are some sages who might have interpreted right way also, that Ravan is not physical, some man as is shown in the story. It is Ravan within us. There are demons, but not understanding fully, not understanding the extent of the enemy. And so to protect, to give a real protection, you need to know the enemy and what enemy is capable of doing. We will see some of these areas in some detail today. But before that, you want to say anything, ask anything, and we'll create some time for practice.
Thank you for the opening reflections. Thought from here while others are maybe reflecting. I didn't actually want to know God, and because hearing you share, it was probably the God of devotion that we think is God. So I was the least interested, and then when it was brought in the philosophy, it was a bit disappointing. But we have to start clean what our understanding of God is. So that's so beautiful that to differentiate the Ram of Ravan and the Ram who tells us about himself is nothing connected. So someone is asking, so there is true Ram and a false one too. Is that correct?
There are many Rams. Each one's definition of God is so different. So in such a world of confusion, those who say they are atheist, they are better off. But Ram of Ravan means it is Ravan who is praying, give me more gold. Ravan's demands, and Ravan is very pleased. He promises a certain share to Ram if he gets. The whole interpretation is Ravan's interpretation.
Brings to mind the clans, that maybe each clan has its god definition depending on the values. So the warrior god and the merchant god, Shudra god, we can probably notice the traits. And yeah. So comment, when we realize the Ravan is within us, could that not lead to battling with ourselves? Because thinking of enemies and battles, it can give a kind of make one feel overwhelmed or make one want to give up.
What really happens is the soul wakes up, invisible witness. He wakes up and recognizes the clear truth that is going on. And it is like a metaphorical within us. These are metaphorical. When he wakes up, then there is no Ravan. And it is like these are the psychodrama that goes on. That is what is understood. So it is not a enemy within the cartoon world, but an enemy at another level. In our lower consciousness, our whole focus is on the enemy in the cartoon. When we wake up, we realize enemy is at another level, not necessarily within. The definition of us and definition of I itself changes when you wake up.
Sometimes the word is used game, so it is the game between light and dark as well. When we catch the light, the victory, or get that feeling, then you know the possibilities, you know the goal, and I think that gives enthusiasm. So it has more of a game feeling. One comment, knowing the true Ram, does it depend on our old beliefs or beliefs and learning the new teachings? I don't know if you understood the question. Does it depend on our beliefs? Does it depend on the learning? Does it make sense, the question?
Mind to repeat the question?
What does knowing the true Ram depend on, maybe in connection with knowledge, in connection with beliefs?
That's true, Ram. We are understanding that personality, the one who is the wisest, and the one who is able to see the truth about us, who is able to see the true prince, see the greatness of then it is a completely different game altogether. We understand the true self also. It is like coming out of the dream and discovering the waking world. In the dream, we are not going to find the true friend or even the true self. When we wake up, we discover the true home, waking reality. Waking reality includes your real family, real parents, real treasures, and real self. Even the true self we discover when we wake up, when we are out of the nightmare. Let us create these few minutes of attention. And I like to use the whiteboard even before our practice. If I have the option to use excellent. Simple images are very useful for us. We saw yesterday that when there is darkness, day in and day out, we can only see the cartoon world. Darkness means this: you can't see anything, and even what you see, it is distorted. It is a cartoon world, but we are seeing in a distorted way. It appears to be our world, and our home is within that cartoon. Our family, people are singing songs in that cartoon world. And the self, notion of the self, is also based on Mickey Mouse. That Mickey monkey has become the self. Such is the absurdity, extreme absurdity in the darkness. And from that position, they are making ideas of progress and success. And they are busy. Everyone is busy. Our first step is come out of this darkness completely. That is the first step. Paras gives us the permission to go for 100% light. And first thing we say, cartoon is a cartoon, story is a story. And this scene here, where the meeting that is happening in the story, Prashant is temporary role within that story. Everything of Prashant is Prashant, things around him, it is all within the story. And so irrelevant. That episode will finish, that's the end. What does it, how does it matter? Nothing is going to stay. We are not working for purification of Mickey Mouse. But in this full light, we can see the world beyond the cartoon world, beyond the cartoon reality. And beyond the cartoon is the real world with the true family. We see this world in the image of the sky. World of complete silence, and world that is timeless. Timeless, changeless, endless. This is the world of the family. They all are like living stars in this expanse. They all are noble and divine. They are naturally free from needs, free from desires, ignorant of the word desire, ignorant of sorrow, ignorant of vices. They are free from that cartoon. That means they don't create ego based upon Mickey Mouse or Mickey Monkey. Egoless, viceless, selfless, desireless. That's why divine beings, what remains is in them is silent bliss, complete innocence. They are harmless and beyond harm. Nothing can harm them, even the slightest. So they are beyond harm. All are like this forever. When anyone is beyond harm at such a level, story cannot harm anyone. They know this. In the story, many things happen. There may be flood and war and dragons and villains, but the story cannot harm them. They are absolutely beyond harm. Not even the slightest harm can come. All of this allows them to be fully innocent. They have wisdom like God, and they are having innocence like a child. That's what makes them immensely lovely, worthy of immense love. Always. They are lovely, loving, and lucky. On an extraordinary level. They are very lucky, very lovely. Loving, worthy of greatest respect. Such a positive universe. This is the eternal reality. All we have done is we are seeing in light, that's all. We are not trying to create that world. We are just seeing it in light. This family, this world exists eternally. In this environment, alokik environment, where we are seeing this dimension, our alokik dimension, our true family, our true father, one who is Parasnath, one who is always Paras, one who is the wisest and holiest. As we continue on our journey, we remember the immensely beautiful truth of the invisible witness. This alokik environment helps this invisible witness to become conscious. And for the invisible witness, it is normal to be like quiet. It is normal to be immortal. It is normal to be so independent from the story. When he is not conscious, ego is conscious. And ego absolutely lives in that cartoon. He thinks he is the Mickey Mouse. Mickey Monkey. When we are seeing in full light and the invisible witness is conscious, he sees his complete independence from the cartoon world. Many things happen in the cartoon, but that is the script there. That is not his world. That is a story. That is not our story. Story is never ours. There are many stories. The invisible prince is the invisible witness. He watches the story. He knows of his life with the King of Kings, life with the true friend. He knows his life with God. He knows of his eternal bond with God. This friendship is eternal, love is eternal, bond is eternal, unconditional upon the story. It is not based upon what happened today and yesterday. This is the eternal bond. Very close bond. Very close. And no one can change this. In this bond, there is love, there is respect, there is closeness, there is belonging, there is friendship, and there is wisdom. There is awareness of the mutual greatness. It is not patronizing relationship, love, but there is a understanding of the greatness. That's why that respect, silent respect. Everything is holy at this level. Nothing inauspicious, not even the slightest. All of that happens in the Ravan's world. And inauspicious flavors, they come in the Ravan's world. Here, everything is clean and good, auspicious. All that was done was catch hold of the light. We stay in light. Thank you. We get an idea, how on one side, you become, when you are in light and soul becomes conscious, and a different game starts when he's conscious. It is not ego-based spiritual effort. Ego-based spiritual effort is he's trying to make Prashant holy, that kind of thing. He wants to make Prashant perfect, trying to improve the cartoon. Nothing wrong with that, but when we are seeing in full light, we are discovering the true self. We are discovering the invisible witness. Invisible witness is the invisible traveler. He becomes conscious. And he has worthiness. He knows he belongs to God, but feels worthy. It is like coming out of the dream, waking up, and then he doesn't need to be told, you belong here and you belong. He knows he belongs to which family and he belongs to which mother and what his job is. He knows he has woken up. Here also, the invisible witness wakes up. Then he becomes completely free from Ravan-based feelings. What are these Ravan-based feelings? These big vices are one thing, but for Ravan, that cartoon is his his world revolves around the cartoon. He can't beat that. He might talk about knowledge also, Atma, Paramatma, knowledge. He may be speaking knowledge also, but life will be full of complaints, or at least in the cartoon, someone did something happened. In the mind, there can be complaints, there can be criticism about the way things happen in the cartoon. There will be comparison. There will be questions. Why this is happening? Who said this? Why it's not happening? There will be concerns. What else? The whole department that the cartoon, different things that happen in the cartoon, it matters as if it is an issue. He thinks about cartoon, he thinks about past, he thinks about, worries about tomorrow. He dangles, and that is what the Ravan-based effort, ego-based effort means Ravan. That R factor is the dominant factor. The prince is not conscious. Then we have crossed the line, the dotted line. The Ravan-based effort is going on. And these are the feelings. It can come in the words also. But whatever happens in the cartoon, it is an issue. You bring light. And light, a result of light, the invisible prince has to become conscious. Then it is light. Light is not just a commentary. But when the invisible prince is conscious, his life is of celebration. He is busy. He says, everyone is good. Everyone is worthy of love and respect, and everyone is immortal, lovely, loving, lucky, forever. So his life is eternal celebration. He knows he is worthy to be loved by God. He belongs to God, and this is happening. This has been happening forever. Now he has woken up to see it. He doesn't say, tomorrow this will happen. God will love me from tomorrow. No. God, he belonged to God. He is worthy to be loved by God. It has always been. He has woken up to see it. So his time is busy. And what about a cartoon? Will he have any criticism about Tom and Jerry? Will he be comparing with someone? Will he be complaining? Will he have questions about Jerry? What we hear, no? Even in today's Murli, we heard many things happen in the story. There may be destruction also, and there may be many things happen. Flood and nature will come with brooms. And that is all happening in the cartoon. That is not our story. That is not our world. It is one episode. Some other episode starts. You can put a full stop. Just like when you are watching a cartoon, suddenly you are called. You have to go to some other place. You say, okay, you turn it off in a second. It's a cartoon. In the same way here, you are free to put a full stop to this whole thing in a second. In your mind, your mind is more, attention is in the celebration. Yeah, let us hear your thoughts.
I was just reflecting on how we know when it's ego-based effort, and maybe it's the intention, because like, say, comparison, we make comparisons all the time. Is it always necessarily ego-based? Even in the readings, it's comparing and creating contrast. So any thoughts?
When it is ego-based, the story and the cartoon, that appears to be worth more than a penny. You have given value to that. Ego can survive because of the cartoon. So it is very relevant for you. When we talk about, moksha and mukti and God, but heart is in the cartoon. Cartoon is his thoughts will be revolving around some attainments in the cartoon. He will be more interested in the Ram of Ravan. When it is soul-based effort, he has got a sky. He is out of the anthill. He has this celebration and he has got God already. He got the biggest prize already. Even the golden age is, the second prize. This Lokik reality becomes the first prize. That's the way he finds. Lottery prize. Okay, which lottery? This is the eternal lottery. World with the God, world of God. World where there is nothing inauspicious. Everyone is lovely and you find your true family. So that's why there is like a full feeling of fullness, completely fulfilled. Feeling of the ultimate victory. So that is soul-based effort.
And you were describing watching a cartoon, but then you're asked to be somewhere, so you're very happy to switch it off. I think everyone would find that analogy, if there's some orientation of knowledge, they would find that attractive. No one wants to be slave or in some kind of bondage. But maybe we get caught when it comes to service. We have thought that service is somehow at the cartoon level, and we don't want to ignore it. So that shift of consciousness, that the ones who need help are not in the cartoon. So it's just reflecting on that. To be a friend of others, we need to be seeing who they really are.
Baba sometimes uses the words asochta. You might have heard these words. Asochta, abhokta. And akarta. And all of this means soch is thinking, bhogi is indulgent, and akarta, karma, actions. Is without, so it is not that he doesn't think, but no Ravan's thoughts. Many things happen in the cartoon. It can be, like in the Brahmin world also. Many things happen that may appear to be waste, unnecessary things. But it is happening in a cartoon. He can put a full stop to it. He's asochta. In his mind, he can put a full stop. But ego cannot put a full stop to it. It matters to the ego. Same ego goes to analyze it, why he is saying this, why he did it, it is so important, serious. So Ravan cannot easily say that is just a cartoon. A bhokta, we come across different things in the drama. Ravan's hates, they are indulgent. They like to eat something, they like to see someone, they like to touch something, they like to have something in a bigger hat. It is different way he's indulging in the cartoon. 10 hates of Ravan, they are indulgent, bhogi. A bhokta, Ravan is not there. He has to give some food to the body, but Ravan is not there to indulge. He has to put some shoes and some hat, but Ravan is not there to indulge. He's not doing it for some ego gratification. So it is abhokta. Akarta, actions are happening in the cartoon, but Ravana is waiting to say, this is, I did it, this is mine, and look at my achievements, this is all this cartoon junk, it is my collection. So that is Ravana. When it is soul-based, the soul doesn't want to claim anything in the cartoon. That is a script that is happening. He finds it bizarre to claim that cartoon is because of me. I did this. So internally, he knows there is a script and things are happening, but his self-respect is from beyond. So things are happening, but he remains akarta. Baba is akarta. Baba comes in the drama, plays the part of God and purifies the world, worshipped everywhere in different forms. But in himself, he knows that's drama. That is the script. He remains completely independent, doesn't take entitlement, doesn't let himself be polluted by the cartoon. Remains akarta, remains the point. And that's why remains in truth. He is able to experience the ocean. The moment you cross the line for any reason, then the ocean, you can't experience the wonder of the sky. Ravan, once you allow to open the door for Ravan, then that super sensuous experiences, that will not be the ocean anymore. Baba remains in that ocean, in 100% truth, 100% light, and those experiences, because even the actions that are happening in the drama, they are not polluting him. In a true sense, remains that zero. It is not, I did that, I created heaven. No, that is in the drama. That Shiva, he remains the point. And by that, he means he just like anybody else. Deep inside, he knows that he is like everyone else. That's why that authentic love and equality and respect, deep inside, he knows that. That is the way that Alokik reality is. We said before, no, not patronizing, but authentic, clean relationship. He remains akarta. Yeah, you want to add anything? Say anything?
beautiful to think, because we can only help others to the extent that we are free. And God is the one that is 100% free, and then He can genuinely experience the equality, and others being that, it's just they temporarily got confused. So it's so nice to get the feeling of that personality. A couple of questions. One that came earlier. What happens when you lose to Maya and can't forgive yourself?
Sure. The whole game is like bringing the invisible prince to conscious state. Regardless of what is happening, first we have to bring the invisible prince. Some of the practices today, they are aimed at that. We create an environment, alokik environment. In that alokik environment, invisible witness becomes conscious. And then it is his perspective. He's seeing things. And he's seeing things in a fresh way. It is a new perspective, new start. He's not a continuation of Prashant. This is the milestone we need to bring ourselves repeatedly. And start and come to this, and let the invisible prince wake up. And he is free from, as was said, it is not his story. Story is different. In the story, there is Prashant, doing things. But invisible witness, he starts clean. And his perspective is new. When it is not the invisible witness, then it is ego-based effort. And ego will take whatever, guilt or blame. Or ego has got its own complexities. And we do not try to change the ego in that darkness. First come in the full light, and then you are able to see differently. This applies to everyone. Our effort is, we can very quickly move to the soul-based effort rather than ego-based effort.
That's a nice way to identify the soul-based, that it will be fresh, new, uplifting, rejuvenating, and not to wait for Ravan to come to experience that. But if Ravan's feelings do come, then we know it's that department, and it can be a signal to start fresh. One question: is time responsible for us to stay in the cartoon world?
Time, you understood?
Is time responsible? No, I didn't really understand, but that was the way it was phrased. What is responsible for us to stay in the cartoon world? Is it time?
Yeah, we are all passing through the cartoon. Cartoon is the field of action. It is our karma bhumi. We can't escape the cartoon. Just the question is, are we crossing the line, or are we on the right side of the line? That's the question. We don't want to run away from the cartoon. We can't. But we can stay in full light and change the game. One thing I want to add just this, in this context. We said when we have crossed the line, and ego becomes conscious. When darkness means that, when we come in the darkness, this is another milestone. ego becomes conscious, which means Ravan becomes conscious. And we said it's a milestone, and it is the worst thing that can happen to us. Why? We have been creating attachments and all, but when Ravan becomes conscious, it is the worst thing that can happen to us. Why? When ego becomes the master, it is a bigger problem to us. We have been going down the spiral that has been happening. But ego taking birth is extra problem. That's why we are calling it enemy and concealed enemy. Not many people know about. No one talks about this. Your governments, no one is having any budget to defeat this enemy. They have got billions spending on military, but not towards this enemy. Why is it a big enemy, and why are we saying it is a milestone? Huge drop when ego becomes conscious.
So one answer, when we are removed, we get removed further from the light. Maybe we lose all contrast. It's our very identity is based in the darkness. Maybe other answers will come.
But other thing, just one addition to this. When ego takes birth, then ego wants to survive. You are in a big trap of this now. It is not something I go somewhere, oh, I'm in the wrong position. Sorry, I'm changing my direction. Here, it is like if someone gets married to someone, if one is friendship and someone gets married, then says, oh, sorry, I want to change my mind. He can't change the mind easily. He has to go to the lawyers and courts and gets into some complication. It is a bit like that. Here, you get into the ego level, then you can't change it because ego is stubborn and ego wants to survive. And ego wants to keep this invisible prince unconscious. Ego has got an absolute determination to keep the invisible prince unconscious. If he becomes conscious, then ego will become unconscious. So he's determined in this way. He will use all the skills to keep this ego alive and the soul unconscious. This is what happens through the Copper Age, Iron Age, in long period of time. In a true sense, the soul is a zombie soul. Life, mind and life is ruled by Ravan. So that's why, a real issue there. Ravan continues to get bigger and fatter, and more heads are increasing. Appears completely normal. In such a state of full darkness, there is no contrast even. It appears totally normal. Such an absurd thing. He's caught in the cartoon and seeing himself as Mickey Monkey and bragging about it. Look at me, Mickey Monkey, so wonderful, claiming everything, but shamelessly. No one is there to see the absurdity. Such is the time in the enemy kingdom. Ram is the only one. Shiva is the only one who stays conscious, who is not defeated by this, darkness. That's why he remains in a position to help these unconscious princes. All these princes, their truth is extraordinary, but at the moment, for half the cycle, unconscious. Yeah, get a feel of it, get a feel of the situation. Yesterday, we used the word to understand the extent of the enemy, what he's doing and what he has been doing, and what he's able to do. We also saw, in those who have not heard the full Sanjivani, we have seen Ravan, and complementing Ravan is Maya's cleverness, like Maya, people sometimes say Maya is illusion. It is not illusion. Maya is intelligence. But this intelligence is 100% used for Ravan. So to understand that, the enemy, we have to understand the whole range of what enemy can do to yourselves and to others. Once you know this is coming from enemy, then you are able to stop it yourselves. If you are not seeing that this is enemy, it appears it is all my reasons, my arguments, my cleverness, but we have to understand this is the enemy of the soul. And Baba is the friend of the soul. Baba is not friend of your ego, but he is the friend of the soul. Yes, let us hear from you.
It's interesting when listening, sometimes the comment is, we're just hearing about Ravan, but actually, when we are defining it, it's liberating and freeing. We're also seeing the contrast when we personify and give the details of the enemy. But if we notice that in ourselves, anything to help, because perhaps it's Ravan doesn't like light. So if we get these feelings, it may be also that the enemy within, and different feelings, the disheartenment, or perhaps they, in the name of wanting something positive. Any comments?
Sure. Anytime, we want to make effort, change the platform where you are going to play the game. We are in this game, and each and everyone is in the game. We don't play the game in darkness. If we are playing game in darkness, Ravan is going to win. We ourselves, it is ego within us playing the game. And the first step for us is bring ourselves into full light. Even in this, you will hear from within you, light, okay, just 80%. We don't need to go into full light at the moment. Yeah, gradually, tomorrow we'll go for. This is Maya. We have the option to go for full light and see clearly. If it is a cartoon, we are using this language, cartoon, because Ravan doesn't like that language. Ravan wants to make a big big meal of this junk in the cartoon. Everything becomes so serious and important. And so you are saying the whole thing is a cartoon. And it deflates Ravan by saying this. Come to the world beyond the cartoon. Full light. We have the option to go for 100% light. And 100% light, the invisible witness becomes the king. He is now seeing the world. You are grasping that soul perspective. When we say soul consciousness, it is not just thinking of the soul or seeing the soul, but the perspective of the soul. Perspective coming from that, unmixed with anything from the cartoon, unmixed with ego. Then it is soul consciousness. And anyone has the option to come in that. As we are saying here, just bring full light, and it is absolutely favors the soul. And the soul become conscious. Now you are in the game. And now let us see, let Ravan come. And in this environment of light, you are the winner. Straight fight between light and darkness, light wins.
Thank you. Yeah, it's good. And this is the camp of the enemy at this time, when it just requires understanding of the contrast in ourselves first, of the perspective where in the world, but absolutely in that bliss of being beyond harm, and that we need to shift to the home of the friend rather than hang around in the camp of the enemy. So there aren't any other questions right now. If you have anything to share, and then maybe we could take a break for rooms.
Yeah, we will go to the rooms and then we meet after the rooms.
Any question to bring for the discussion?
To understand the extent of the presence of the enemy, and how the friend, the true friend, how he's with us and what he sees, what he knows, why he is the friend. And how the light makes a difference in our victory. How the friend helps us in gaining the victory. A few of these subjects. If maybe all questions, or you can choose one of them.
Yeah. So we'll put that in the chat. Some ideas to start. So we'll open up the rooms, and we'll see you back in just over 10 minutes. Thank you. Hello, welcome back. It's always nice to see everyone back in the main room, or the shining stars. Should we create a minute together before we continue with that feeling of that closest friend. Thank you. Welcome back. So do share anything that came up if you wish in the chat. It could be a point you want to highlight. Sometimes hearing it twice helps. So if you want to underline anything that you found helpful. Also, I'd like to welcome in Sanjay. It'd be great to hear your thoughts. Hello, good evening.
Hello and Om Shanti. Good to see you everyone again. And I'm not ready, but I will speak few thoughts and few ideas that came up in the room. Like, who is God? Just to understand that He sees it as a role only, and what we have done with this. 63 births, we made Him what? And He's just like us. Just a little point that knows the truth by chance and has a role to come somewhere along that time to show us what is truth, and just to be in that space of His, it's a very, very, I would say, astonishing and shocking, because all those devotional feelings or prejudice, beliefs and perception that was there for a long time collapse. And you really feel that Sanjay is really nothing, zero. A picture on a wall and doing acts, saying things, but the one who acts, who is behind this character, is a real thing, and he is eternal and immortal and was always that. The other thing was that the understanding that we are not trying to create this reality, it's already there, and we are just exposed to that reality and invited to enjoy and celebrate the reality, because it exists forever. It was always there, it will be always there, and we are just invited to step in the light. And to know that the friend is forever loving us, no conditions to his love. He knows us, he knows what happened to us, and he knows his role and our roles, and he plays it beautifully, helping us to go behind the line, to stay in the light. And once we are there and realize, then we surely take upon ourselves this his work also. Stay in the light basically and beaming that light everywhere by enjoying, celebrating, singing as a audience that is a wake up audience. Well, those are a few thoughts that came up in the discussion. Thank you and Om Shanti.
Thank you so much. It's rich for many to underline the points. Just to say, Spanish translation is not working for some reason. So I don't know if Eva can continue or Ricardo. I'm not sure why, because Teresa is on mute, but we're not getting the sound, I think. So yeah, don't know if someone could share in the chat. Thanks so much, and handing back to Prashant.
Thank you, Sanjay, and welcome back. Let us create another few minutes of attention. By ordinary standard, it is radical. We live in the alokik. And it is a game of a second. And everything that is physical, we literally see it as irrelevant. That's why it is radical. We involve ourselves in it. But this is the concept of unlimited vairagya and disinterest. We hear these ideas when we use the word cartoon, and means it is secondary. And the invisible soul has woken up to the alokik world. Spiritual life is not just organizing a Brahmin party. That is not the destination. The destination is this, to waking up, the soul waking up. And every second we are awake, we make it easy for others to wake up. This is a obvious truth. And as more and more wake up, it will be obvious for everyone. 100% of the souls, it will become obvious. Right now, the crowd is in the upside down position. And billions and billions are in the Ravan's camp. That's why we also feel as if it is normal to hang around in that cartoon, appears as normal. We just create a holy corner within that cartoon and think that that is the destination. In the Murli that we heard today, one expression that was used in Hindi, the word is vrat. And it was translated as fast and promise. Vrat is like a commitment. Promise is pretty close. Shivaratri, people make a commitment. And here Baba says our commitment is purity, and that subject, purity, Baba used the word brahmachari. And Baba used another word, brahmachari. Brahmachari is celibacy, and brahmachari, one extra, the extra A. And that changes the meaning, where your life is like the life of Father Brahma. And what is the difference? I says your commitment is not just celibacy, not just purity, but brahmachari. And brahmachari, nice way to understand, where all Ravan's hates, all Ravan's department is renounced. Not just lust is renounced, but department of Ravan is renounced. At every level. If you are renouncing Ravan, it is renouncing Ravan. You are not keeping thoughts or some Ravan's department, junk around. So one who is conscious, invisible witness, who is conscious, not a ego-based effort, but the soul-based effort, he wants from the heart to be free from Ravan's department. If it is ego-based effort, he is working for Ravan. And he follows disciplines, but his heart is how to protect Ravan's interests. So brahmachari is that shift. Always good for us to come to the bigger map that helps us to have the orientation. Bigger map means this. He understands his alaukic world, alaukic family, alaukic father, his fullness and celebration, and that dimension is a world of disbelief. Can't believe that something like this can ever really exist. No Ravan, no reason for sorrow, as we saw before, not even the subtle sorrow, like comparison, kind and the little concerns, little disappointments, little cartoon, nothing matters. The destruction happens, and even that doesn't matter. Cartoon comes to an end, doesn't matter. Complete freedom. Mind is not thinking about, what will happen, how will it happen, and why it happened. Free from that. Mind is busy in celebration. Seeing the greatness of others. And as we are doing this, we are creating light. It is like a conscious, you will see this practical results where they wake up and they discover that truth of themselves. Words cannot do the job. There are words, they will say yes, yes, oh yes, yes. But when you are creating light, it bypasses the words. But light, who is creating the light? The invisible witness who is conscious, who is awake. His clarity, conviction, concentration. If these three factors are there, he is awake, he is clear, he knows the greatness of everyone, he knows this truth. And just by seeing it, he is creating light for others. That is what the lighthouse effect is. When you are busy in this, Baba underlined today in the subject of Vrat, power of thought. Don't go into the waste thoughts and negative thoughts. When it is ego-based, it will go into, whole thing is waste. What will ego think about? Ego has got complete, ego itself is a waste. So when your soul is conscious, your game is different. Now, just as Baba is the friend, your friend, true friend, you become the friend of others. If you are conscious, if you are thinking of helping the soul, then you are a friend. If you yourselves are hanging in the cartoon, then you are truly not a friend. Party is going on in the cartoon, but Ravan gets the commission, and you are working for the enemy without you knowing. You might think you are the friend of others, but you as if conspire with the enemy of others. That is like equivalent to giving others sorrow. It appears I'm giving happiness to others, but actually I'm giving sorrow to the invisible soul, because you are making the enemy stronger. The game changes in a big way, so here we said it is a world of disbelief. You are in a world of truth, world with a God, world of immortality. If the world where there is no desires and no sorrows, what remains is silent happiness and contentment, and we are talking about immortality and security, world beyond harm. Everyone is immensely lovely and childlike, and forever. This reality is forever. And just by you staying in this celebration, silent celebration, you are actually contributing to benevolence and also department of good karma. Even your thoughts, the department of thoughts, as Baba says, it is like a highest thoughts, positive thoughts. You stop the waste thoughts. And now you are the incarnation. What incarnation did Baba speak of today? You become the incarnation of what? Baba is incarnation of Shiva, and what incarnation you become?
Economy.
Yeah. So when the waste is stopped, everything has relevance now. All this is possible if the ego is stopped. Ego is wasteful. It is like the department of big department waste. Everything is wasted. So what they are talking is also wasteful. What they think is waste. Department of waste. And that is it may appear waste, but it all is used by Ravan. Ravan has a big recycling system. He can use this waste in his nourishment. But here you are busy with the highest and the best, and your time has value, your thoughts have value. The purification that we are here for, this job of purification of the soul. And it is good for us to give ourselves some time limit. Like today is a good day to think of this. Say next 1 month from today until, think of a date until another 30 days from today. We understood the method. We know what needs to be done. We need to stop the enemy. Don't feed the enemy. We have the option of light. We know how to be with the friend and take help from the friend and be the friend of others. What an extraordinary offer and a huge privilege. Then the next step is how we can be constant and how we can be in that space longer. And if that aim is there, you will achieve it. The checking, one is having the understanding, but Maya, Ravan will constantly find way to bring us in the cartoon world. But find your program. Checking. Baba said, keep a chart and aim for 100%. Baba wants 100% score. And then it is like some may be very new, but it is like the opportunity for A star, score A star. If one takes this one. 1 month program to be with the friend and go for the full victory and help others gain victory. This is the project, 1 month project. If you like this idea, make that plan, our own plan, each one. Let us create another minute of attention, maybe a few minutes. This sketch is useful because that is exactly what we are experiencing inside. If any physical aid helps you, why not? And Paras necessarily means the physical world appears small in size, small in time, and in significance. That's why the language of cartoon. Whichever word that you find you're comfortable with, use that. But important is the alokik world becomes alive. And we are able to see that, see the wonder of that world, and experience the true family and true home and true father and friend. We understand this subtle, what makes God. And we use that expression, akarta. That is very subtle. To be performing the actions and part and not be polluted by those actions. Internally completely free, and just that point, and full self-respect, because that is the truth. He is one who stays in that absolute truth, holds to that truth. That's why Ravan cannot come to him. As we are seeing that personality that is resonating within us, we need to catch hold of this friend. It is a Ram of the angel, Ram of the soul. And so Baba sees everyone with a vision of equality, with a vision of belonging, eternal bond, and a bond with whom? With the invisible witness. We create very clear distinction. Prashant is part of the story, but the invisible witness who is conscious, he is the one who is from the family of God. Happy to know this extraordinary truth of everyone. All are lucky. All are worthy to be loved by God. All are good. All are lovely, and all are lucky. So our program for the next month, staying in light and creating light for others. It is like a nice mission, and this is a program for full victory.
Thank you so much. I love this idea of a project. Guess we have to-do list. We might have a few, but to have a to-be list, and this is actually more important because it's refining the power of thoughts and the clarity. And we will also be more clear about even our practical lives with that kind of economy and power. And either we are busy with the friend or we're busy with the enemy. So we have that choice. I'm going to post in the chat a link. This is a story, and it came to mind. It's the party on the sinking boat. It feels like it's recognition of the time. The boat is sinking, and the friend has the answer. The enemy wants us to stay in the party. And so I hope you enjoy. I'm going to finish with a drill from Madhavan. We'll put the link in the chat for the recordings as well. Shanti.
अभी एक सेकंड में एक सेकंड हुआ एक सेकंड में सारी सभा जो भी जहाँ है वहाँ मन को एक ही संकल्प में स्थित करो। और मैं परम धाम में अनादि ज्योति बिंदु स्वरूप परम धाम में भाव के साथ बैठ जाओ। अच्छा